Okay, so in this video we will see next 5 question, that is from question number 81 to question number 85, and all those questions are available on examtopics.com, and all these questions are related to the GCP PD exam, that is the Google Professional Data Engineer exam. Question number 81. So question number 81 is basically the MG Telco case study. So as I told you in the earlier video as well, like whenever we have given any case study, so main thing whatever the question is being asked is basically mentioned in the CFO statement. So rather than reading all the above long question, let's directly jump into the CFO statement, because this is the main thing which is being asked here. So what is the CFO statement? The project is too large for us to maintain the hardware and software required for the data and analysis. Okay, also we cannot afford to staff and operation team to monitor. Okay, so we will rely on automation. Google Cloud Machine Learning will allow our quantitative researcher to work on high value problems instead of problems with our data pipelines. Okay, you need to compose visualization. So main thing is we need to compose visualization for operation team. Okay, and the telemetry must include data from the 50,000 installations. Okay, the report must not be more than 3 hours delayed from live data. The actionable report should not show suboptimal links. Most suboptimal links should be sorted on the top. Suboptimal links are grouped and filtered. Use response time to load the reports must be less than 5 seconds. Okay, so basically their main challenge is they want to create some reports, right? And they want the they have some basic criteria, like they want to perform some group by operation, they want to do some filtering, and they want that the report should not be 3 hour delayed, and they also want to perform the sorting operations, right? So you create a data source to store the last 6 weeks of data. Okay, and create visualization that allow viewers to see multiple date ranges. So multiple date ranges, distinct geographic regions, and unique installation type. Okay, you always show the latest data without any changes to your visualizations. Okay, you want to avoid creating and updating new visualization each month. What should you do? So they told that we need to create some generic graphs, so that there is no need to avoid there is no need to recreate or update the visualization every month. We just we will create a generic interactive graphs. So whatever the date we will select, automatically within the same graph the latest data will be get populated. So how we will achieve this? So look through the current data and compose a series of chart and tables, one for each possible combination of criteria. So this is wrong. They told that create a chart for each possible combination of criteria. So this is wrong, because they already mentioned we need to avoid creating and updating new visualization for each month, right? So it doesn't mean that we need to create a graph in such a way like there is some interactive filter. If we select start date, end date, automatically graph data will get updated. No need to create a combination or possible of so many graphs. So option A is wrong. Look through the current data, okay, and compose a small set of generalized charts and tables bound to criteria filters that allow value selection. So that looks perfectly okay, because we need to create some set of generalized charts, let's suppose one chart shows some scatter plot, the other chart shows some bar plot, or other charts show some sorting values, right? And we need to provide some filter criteria. So that looks perfectly okay. Export the data to a spreadsheet, compose a series of chart and tables, one for each possible combination. Again it is wrong. Load the data into relational database tables. Write a Google App Engine application that queries all rows, summarize the data across each criteria, and then renders result through the Google Charts and visualization API. So this is not like recommended. They told that first do one thing, load the data into the relational database, then create one application, Google App Engine application, and then try to fetch the data from the database, and whatever the operation we want to do, that the sorting and the like where clause, date clause, or the group by clause, anything process the data and then renders, that is the display the data on the charts. So this is a very long process and this is not recommended. So best thing is create some generalized chart, interactive chart. The just one person will come and like select the date, and automatically the data will get populated for that selected month. So option number B is okay, and so all the people say option number B. Question number 82. 82 is also the MG Telugu case study. So let's directly jump into the CFO statement. So what's CFO statement? So till this point it is like same, like they don't have any budget, they don't have any infrastructure, they don't want to maintain the software and hardware, okay, and then what they want to use the Google Cloud. Given the record streams, MG Telco is interested in ingesting per day. So they want to ingest some data per day. They are concerned about the cost of the Google BigQuery increasing. So because they are ingesting data, so they are concerned about the Google BigQuery cost. MG Telco asks you to provide a design solution. Okay, they require a single large data table called tracking table. Okay, they want only single table. Additionally, they want to minimize the cost of daily queries while performing a fine grain of each day events. Okay, what actually they are doing is they are performing some queries, and for each day, you can say there is a filter for the each day, and they want to minimize that cost. They also want to use streaming ingestion. What should you do? So okay, create a table called tracking table and include a date column. Create a table called tracking table, that is perfectly okay, because we have to create a single large table called tracking table, that is perfectly okay. But if we include a date column, right, and let's suppose we have added one more column, that is a date column, and we want to query and we want to run the query, and we will use the where clause because we have one column and we have to use the where clause, right, because this is a normal table. So we will use the where clause. So what it will do, it will scan all the records to find the exact match for the particular day, and then it will display. So the query is not optimized. Let's suppose the table has the data for 2015 and 2016, and we put the where clause for 2018. We know for the 2018 we don't have any data, but still we are scanning whole that across all the table. So this is we are this is not recommended, and this is not minimizing the cost. So one thing is okay, we are creating a single table, but second scenario is not a fulfilling here. So option A is wrong. Create a partition table called tracking table, okay, and can include a timestamp column. So that looks perfectly okay, because we are creating a one table, tracking table, but now we are creating a partition table and we included timestamp column. Okay, so if we create a you can say a partition table, so we know the data will be get partitioned, and on the basis of the timestamp, so that is we know that of if we use the where clause, right, and we will give our date and time, then it will search, it will not search across all the data across all the rows, but it will search our data in a particular partition. So our query will also get optimized, so the cost will be less because it will scan the less data. So option B looks okay. Create shared tables for each day. So this is not recommended because we need to create a single table, so they require a single table, so this is wrong. Create table called tracking table, okay, with the timestamp column to represent the day. So that looks also okay, but again this is not a partition table, so whatever the column we will create, and when we use a where query, we need to scan all the rows because this is not the partition table. So option D is also not recommended. So what option is left? That is option number B, partition table. So option B looks correct. Question number 83. Question number 83 is also like now this is a flow logistic case study. So let's directly jump into the CFO statement. Yeah. So what CFO statement is saying that flow logistic management has determined that the current Apache Kafka servers cannot handle the data volume for their real-time inventory tracking system. So they are currently using the Apache Kafka servers and they are not handling the data volume because like their business grows, and that is a real-time inventory tracking system. Okay, so the data is coming in the real time. So they want to use the Google Cloud. Okay, for the property tracking software. Okay, the system must be able to ingest data from a global sources. Okay, from any sources it should, the data can become, and it should be the real time. So as soon as I see the real time, like only one option like click in my mind, that is the PubSub. Okay, and we need to store the data reliably. Okay, which combination of the product we will use. Okay, so first thing is that we need to perform the data like in the real time. So out of 5 option, we can easily eliminate cloud load balancing and the cloud data flow because we need the real time ingestion. So we will use the cloud PubSub. So now we have the only 3 option left. And the third thing is that we need to store the data. So where it is mentioned, somewhere it is mentioned, na? And we need to store the data reliably. So the second option told that local SSD, we need to store the data into the local SSD. So local SSD is not like recommended because if the computer get like scrap, the disk will might be also get scrapped. So even this is not like recommended for the storage. So option B is easily eliminated. Now we have the two option, option number A and option number C, right? So option number A told that we can use the cloud data flow, and option number C that we can use the cloud SQL. So correct option is option number A, cloud data flow, because in the question it is mentioned current server Apache Kafka cannot handle the data volume, right? So if we use the cloud SQL, right, cloud SQL we know like it has only handle a limited amount of storage, right? So cloud data flow is like perfectly like okay for this system because we will use the cloud PubSub. So the source will ingest the data into the cloud PubSub. So into the cloud PubSub, like the data can become from global sources, and then we can pass through the cloud data flow and it will like get stored into the cloud storage. So option number A is perfectly okay. They told option number C. Option number C is not correct. So option number A is correct. Question number 84. Okay. After migrating ETL jobs to run on BigQuery, you need to verify that the output of the migrated jobs is the same as the output of the original. Okay. So we have some ETL jobs and we have migrated and run on the BigQuery, but we need to verify the output. And we need to confirm whether the output which we like the output of the jobs which we run after the migration is same as the original output, that is the before migration. So you have loaded a table containing the output of the original job and want to compare the content, and the table do not contain a primary key column, so that you can't perform the join operation. So how you will compare? So let's suppose you have two table. One table contains the original data, the other table contains the migrated data. Alright, now we need to compare both the table, and we need to make sure that we need to compare all the data. First thing is this, that they should be identical, right? And there is no primary key column, so we cannot like use the join, like join from one table to another table whether the data is equal or not. We cannot use the join. So how should you do? So first thing, that select random samples. So as soon as it is mentioned select random samples and compare those samples, why should I compare only few samples? If I compare only few sample, it will not tell me that the every data in the table is identical, but my main purpose is to compare each and every record. so that I can I can make sure that the original data as well as the migrated data are identical. So selecting the random sample and comparing only the random sample is not the solution. Again, option number B said that the selecting the random samples we will eliminate it. Third is use a data pro cluster and a BigQuery Hadoop connector to read the data from each table, okay, and calculate a hash from known timestamp column and compare the hash of each table. So that looks perfectly okay. What it will do is we will use the data pro cluster. So data pro cluster, data pro is like one of the Google cloud service, which basically like main aim is to like visualize the data, analyze the data, so to perform some operation on the data, you can say in the layman term. So what we can do is we have like two tables, one has the original data, one has the migrated data. So we can like fetch one record from one table and other record from other table. We will create a hash of both the record and we will compare the hash. So if the hash will matches, then it means the data is same. So that looks perfectly okay. Create a stratified random samples. Again they have told we need to create a random sample. Again we can eliminate. So option C is left. So correct answer is option number C. They told option B, but option B is not the correct answer. Option C is the correct answer. So option C is the correct answer. Question number 85. You are head of BI at a large enterprise company with multiple business unit that each have different priorities and budget. Okay, you use on demand pricing. So read the keyword, we are using the on demand pricing, and our company is very large company, that is the enterprise level company, and on demand pricing for BigQuery with the quota of 2k concurrent on demand slots per project. Okay, users at your organization sometimes don't get slots to execute their query and you need to correct this. Okay, so they told that like when we run the query, any query into the BigQuery service, so it will check whether I have like there is slots available or not, you can say CPU available or not, in the layman term, right? And and we are using the on demand pricing. So in the on demand pricing, the maximum 2000 slots can be available, and we know we have the very large enterprise company, so like multiple users are executing the query. So it has been noticed that sometimes, not every time, but sometimes user don't get the slots to execute their query, and might be like their query like go into the queue or they need to wait. So how we will like handle this problem? And one thing is that you had like to avoid introducing new projects. So it doesn't mean that one project has the 2000 slots. So do one thing, create a new project and align some user into the new project and told them okay, now you can run the query into the new project. No, we can't do this. It is mentioned we need to avoid introducing a new projects. We need to solve the problems within the same project. How should you do? Convert your batch BQ queries into interactive BQ queries. So they told that rather than the running the queries into the batch, run the query in the interactive mode. So this will not solve the issue, because even if we run the query in the interactive mode, it will again check the slots whether the particular slot is available or not. So this will not resolve our issue. Create a additional project. Totally wrong, because it is mentioned we need to avoid creating a new project. Switch to flat rate pricing and establish a hierarchy priority model for your project. So this looks relevant because we are using the on demand pricing, and in the on demand pricing there is a quota for 2000 concurrent. So we can switch to the flat rate pricing. Okay, increase the amount of concurrent slots per project. So this is even not possible. Option D is like eliminated, because if we use the on demand pricing, the maximum upper quota will be available is 2000, and they told that increase the quota, increase the slots. We cannot increase the slots in the on demand pricing. So option C is left. So correct answer is option number C. If we go to the official documentation, so this is the official documentation of the BigQuery. So if you see here, like if you use the BigQuery with the on demand pricing, similar like which we mentioned in the question, that is the on demand pricing, and the 2000 slots per project. Your project is allocated up to 2000 slots, so we cannot increase the slots, right, distributed among your project queries. And also they have mentioned that you might prefer a fixed monthly bill and counter workloads. For such, like it is mentioned that for such situation you can use the flat rate service in this model and create a number of slots are dedicated to your projects, and you can establish a hierarchical priority model amongst the projects. So that is the correct option, that is switch to the flat rate pricing model and establish a hierarchy priority model for your products. So option A, B, D easily eliminated, so only one option left, that is the option number C. Yeah, so all 5 questions done, so that's the end of the video.